right. All right. Call to order the regular council meeting for the Township of Nipigon Council, Tuesday, March 24th, 2026, here at the Municipal Office Council Chambers. It is 7 o'clock, and we will start with the land acknowledgement as always. In the spirit of reconciliation, the Corporation of the Township of Nipigon respectfully acknowledges it is located on the traditional lands of the Red Rock Indian Band, signatory to the Robinson Superior Treaty of 1850, and the township further respectfully acknowledges the historic presence of other signatories on these lands. I will just start by saying that one of our student counselors has sent her regrets. Peyton will not be here this evening. She's on a family holiday. Okay, first order of business, is there any, are there any addendums to the agenda? Any addendum?
No.
Okay. Number 2, are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest this evening? No. Okay, so item number 3, approval of previous council minutes from March 10th, 2026. Does anyone have any concerns, questions about those minutes? All right, so we have a resolution to approve those minutes. Who would like to move? Councillor Harper? Everybody now. Councillor Harper, seconded by Councillor Westhaver. Resolution 2026-048, moved by Councillor Harper, seconded by Councillor Westhaver. Be it resolved that this council approves regular council meeting minutes of March 10th, 2026 as presented. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. Okay, next we have a bylaw to authorize the mayor and CO clerk to enter into a transfer payment agreement with His Majesty the King in right of Ontario. So this is for our water infrastructure funding. Yeah. Okay. Is there anything you want to mention about that at all?
No, fairly straightforward transfer payment agreement. Just establishes the kind of legal framework for the funds to flow through to us for the hospital project.
Okay.
There's just one thing there.
Go ahead, Councillor Westhaver.
It said in there that there was a clause that's subject to environmental assessment. Do we still have to do that right in town?
No.
No, good.
Yeah, I think they have, these are pretty much canned for the most part, templates for contracts, and then they fill in the names, and then it's like, if it's appropriate, blah, 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 and then they mention all the different things that we may or may not apply to us. So
Okay.
They'll let us know what applies to us for sure. All right, so we have a resolution here. Who would like to move this bylaw? Councillor Cartwright. Who would like to second? Councillor Hart. Resolution 2026-049, moved by Councillor Cartwright, seconded by Councillor Hart. Be it resolved that this council gives 3 readings and approves bylaw 2022, a bylaw to authorize the mayor and CO clerk to enter into transfer payment agreement with His Majesty the King in right of Ontario. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. All right, next we have sundries, and we have the February 19th, 2026 District of Thunder Bay Social Services Administration Board DSAB regular meeting minutes. So this is just information. Does anybody have any questions or comments about this minutes? Okay. Great, so we will move on. Sorry, I just gotta get through this really long contract and then get through the minutes, and we'll go on to our next order of business. Holy smokes. It's like 3/4 of our package, isn't it? The legalese is, there we go. Okay. Okay, so that will move us on to item number 6, which are our Public Works Report 2026-0324 02. And it looks like there aren't any resolutions associated with that report. But what we will do is, hello, Taylor, welcome.
Hey, everyone.
We will have Taylor deliver her report, and what we'll do, Taylor, is for each of the points, we'll stop after each point for anyone to ask questions, if that's okay. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Great. So item number 1 is the NOHFC project update. Can you hear me? Sorry.
Can you just turn up the volume on the TV there, Brianna? Thank you.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
Perfect. Okay, so the first item is the NOHFC project update. So staff have received proposals for engineering, design, contract administration, and project management services related to some of the NOHFC funded upgrades at the Nipigon Community Center. So the scope of the work for the respective projects includes installation of a backup generator, upgrades to the boilers and domestic hot water system to provide service to the change rooms and lobby, renovation of an existing storage room into a change room, and replacement of select interior and exterior doors. Given the multidisciplinary nature of the project, which involves mechanical, electrical, and building envelope components, it is considered best practice to retain a qualified consultant to complete the design, tendering, and contract administration. This approach helps ensure regulatory compliance, proper coordination between the different disciplines, and reduces risk and liability to the township compared to managing the projects entirely with an internal resources. Upon review, the cost for design and consulting services is higher than initially anticipated, and staff are currently reviewing options to manage these costs and may need to utilize a portion of the project contingency to offset the increased consulting fees. So staff will continue to evaluate the proposals and proceed in a manner that maintains project scope and compliance with the NOHFC funding requirements. So further updates will be provided as the project advances.
Okay, so does anyone have any questions for Taylor on that portion of her report? Okay, on to item number 2. Go ahead, Taylor.
So, number 2, the annual RFQ issuance. So staff have initiated the issuance of the township's annual request for quotations for the 2026 calendar year. These include township standard service and supply items required to support ongoing public works operations. In addition to the typical RFQs, staff have also prepared and issued separate RFQs for electrical services and plumbing and mechanical services. So these have been structured to capture both residential and commercial service requirements to ensure the township has access to qualified contractors across a range of project types. All submitted rates will be evaluated and, where appropriate, retained for use throughout the 2026 calendar year in accordance with the township's procurement practices. So below is a list of RFQs that will be issued in March 2026, and any interested proponents can find the RFQs posted on the Township of Nipigon website, or they may email myself at PWS, so that's Papa Whiskey Sierra, at nipigon.net for more information. I'll just quickly run over the ones that we will be issuing this month. That'll be for gravel equipment, safeties, landfill cover, trail maintenance, electrical and plumbing contractors, and then the RFQs for the annual pulverize and pave and concrete curb and gutter will be issued at a later date.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Taylor on that? I just have a quick question. So the electrical and plumbing contractor, like putting out an RFQ for that, that's new, right?
Yeah, those are new ones. Obviously, we don't have access to as many contractors in our area. So just in the event of emergencies and when we need, a quicker turnaround time, we thought it would be helpful to have some other contractors available to us with set prices.
Yeah, no, I think that's a smart idea because when you're running into an emergency situation like that, sometimes they're just going out and people tend to jack up the price because you're a municipality and you're in a spot, right? So that's very, very good idea. Thanks for doing that.
Awesome.
Okay, item number 3,
Perfect.
fleet updates. Get
Yeah. So not great news here. As you might know, the plow truck experienced significant mechanical issues requiring invasive repairs with costs expected to exceed $20,000. So this unit was originally purchased as a short-term solution to meet winter operational needs, and given its age and current condition, further investment is not considered cost-effective. In the interim, staff have established alternative winter maintenance plans with neighboring communities and local contractors to provide supplemental sanding and plowing services as required for the remainder of the winter season. And then the garbage truck. So the garbage truck is also currently out of service due to a failed hydraulic pump on the Packer system. The replacement parts were quoted at $5,124.48 with additional labor costs anticipated. In the interim, Public Works staff are maintaining collection services using available trucks, which may result in longer collection times. And we're expecting the garbage truck to be back in service no later than March 27th, 2026. And I will also note we have been able to pick up all of the garbage, that was missed last week and back on schedule this week. And the parts arrived today, so hopefully repairs will be underway tomorrow.
Any questions for Taylor on that? These were a little bit expected though, right? I mean, we have been talking about replacing both of these items, and we were just happened to come upon a season that was, one of the biggest snow seasons and longest snow seasons that we've experienced in some time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is the year that we were just kind of hanging on by our toenails with the plow truck. So good on you guys for working with our neighboring communities and contractors, and also sort of for the Public Works guys to use the truck. I know it can't be too easy on their bodies to be throwing the bags in the back there. So it is what it is, and we just soldier on, right? So
yeah.
Okay. And next we have marina user fees, winter boat storage.
Yeah, so historically, the township's 2013 user fee bylaw included a provision stating that winter storage of boats at the Nipigon Marina parking lot was included in the seasonal docking fee. Additional boats were subject to a $400 storage fee, and all storage was at the owner's risk. This provision seems to have been removed around the year of 2016. The township's current approved user fee bylaw, as posted on the municipal website, clearly states winter storage of your boat is at a cost of $500 and is on a first come first served basis with limited storage spots. Boat storage and vehicle parking at any location at the Nipigon Marina is at the owner's own risk. Despite this, it appears the winter storage fee has not been consistently enforced in recent years. As a result, several individuals currently storing boats at the marina are refusing to pay the applicable fees, citing past practice and referencing the 2013 user fee bylaws. This situation presents both a financial and administrative concern, as continued non-enforcement undermines the township's approved fee structure and creates inconsistency in service delivery. So staff are seeking direction from council on how to proceed, including whether to strictly enforce the current user fee bylaw moving forward, whether to apply fees retroactively or begin enforcement prospectively only, and then how to address existing boats currently in storage without payment. And staff will proceed in accordance with council's direction.
Does anyone have any comments about that? Councillor Westhaver?
Up until 2016, was everybody paying, or was there some doing the docking fees and like not applicable unless you were a new user parking your boat? Do you know, and what happened, how it got changed?
I can't really determine exactly how it got changed. Basically, the only kind of main information that I was able to find was because most of the people I did speak with, just said like this kind of has always how it's been. If you purchase a boat slip, then you get free storage for the winter. And so I was going back year after year trying to find like a clause in our user fees for the marina that, explicitly stated that. Right, just because somebody else had contacted me about storing something down at the marina, and then I went down to look at the space, and then I was like, oh no, I don't know if we've received funds for the winter storage. So that's kind of how it kind of got started. So I began looking historically at what the user fees kind of said, and the only time that I could see that it was explicitly stated that the winter boat storage was free with the boat slip was in the 2013 user fee bylaws. And it was kind of hard to track down information from 2014 and 15, but then in 2016 that clause was removed. And in the user fee bylaws since then, it has always remained removed. So yeah, it's just kind of a bit of a sticky situation.
Counselor Westaver, you have something else?
Up until then, what was the charge or what are they now to, if you're paying your slip every year as compared to additional charge of 500?
So, typically the seasonal dockage for boats is based on the size of the boat and the length. So, for example, a boat below 40 feet, sorry, not meters. A boat, it's a big boat, but a boat below 40 feet, you're paying about, with the most recent fees, about $500 for your slip for the summer. Bigger boats that are say 43 to 45 feet, you're looking at, maybe $700-800. And it kind of goes up if your boat's a bit bigger.
I have a question.
Counselor Hart has a question.
I assume that when they put these boats in, they get a form that they have to fill out and sign. What's on that?
What's on that form? Sorry, let me look.
If they sign their name to it, it should state explicitly on that,
Or it might not.
or it might not, exactly.
Yeah, I want to, but I won't say anything because I don't know for certain at this very moment, but I'm just gonna pull it up really quickly.
Just told the ones that.
Because we actually just had updated the form a little bit last year.
Even better, we got a big holder. Just push them in.
Mm.
Taylor, it's okay if
So
there is
yeah, it
some pressure
doesn't
here. We can-
sorry, I
we
just
can-
finished it. It doesn't
Okay.
state anything explicitly in the docking request form about
Okay.
specifically winter storage. It does state that all personal property shall be removed from the marina area on termination of docking privileges.
Okay.
Do we send them an invoice? Have they ever received an invoice in the past?
Probably not.
12 years?
Doesn't sound like
13
it.
years?
Well, I mean, Taylor's. only-
Yeah, no, not that I could locate.
So it sounds to me like there's a regulation that wasn't enforced. That was.
Yeah, exactly.
Back handshake, you don't have to pay kind of thing, which isn't right. Here's if anyone wants, here's my opinion about what we might want to do is maybe have our administration sort of look at what other marinas are doing with that type of thing in the charge, because Red Rock, they have a lot of boats that dock there, and they also have a lot of boats that are stored there.
Right.
So sort of my kind of thing would be like, if we're charging, let's say for an average boat, $500, and then we're charging another $400 for winter storage, which
Yeah.
is $900.
Yeah.
And let's say Red Rock is charging for the whole shebang, like $600 or something like that. We just want to make sure that we're not pricing ourselves out of our marina users, because they are loyal marina users. There's a few
Right.
folks that park here every year because they love it and they love Nipigon and all that. And so maybe we can look into what a fair cost would be for that. And then go from there to recommend if it should be a separate cost, or if we have to amend our bylaw for that in what we do. But I think that, to be fair to the folks that are using it, that they haven't had to pay an extra cost over the past several years, 13 years. Even when it was changed in 2016, it still wasn't enforced. I think to ask them for retroactive, at least for this year, pay might be a little bit unfair.
Yeah.
So, but what we could do is take a look at it, adjust it to what's fair, so it's very clear,
Yes.
and start enforcing it
I have one
this
more
year. Does that sound good? Yes.
I have one.
Okay, go ahead, Councilor Westhaver.
Taylor, are you aware of any boats that have been there that haven't paid slip or the fees for the winter storage?
Yeah, there is one boat that I believe that, yeah.
Okay.
had a-
Okay.
Well, that's a different situation.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
someone hasn't
Yeah.
paid a slip fee either,
Yeah,
they should be whatever the
Right.
consequences, the towing, whatever, and maybe that's, if it's not in the current bylaw, it's something that should be covered,
For sure.
but they're now trespassing. We just don't let people park as long as they would like for free anywhere. So, I think we gotta take care of that, but the other ones that have been paying their slips with the understanding,
Yeah,
handshake or not, that verbal.
Right.
Say forget about it, that's what they've been told and that's what they've been understanding, so I
Yeah,
think
Just
it's,
moving forward, we should
Yeah.
get our prices right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And forget about the past
Yep.
and just start from here.
and enforce it
It was a
along the board.
cluster and
Bit of a cluster, so.
it's not their fault that.
No.
no,
Not our fault,
No.
not our staff's fault, they're just
Yeah.
new, not their fault, but clarify everything and then start and make sure they
Going forward,
understand, everyone
Yeah.
receives a letter, here's what it is now, this will be enforced.
Like from this summer, when you get
yeah.
a slip and then storage, but.
Yeah.
Just forget about
Yeah,
the rest. of the stuff.
either it's gonna be separate or together, that's something we'll have our staff recommend to us at maybe the next council meeting or the next one after that. We've got a bit of time before the snow falls or the
Yeah.
snow
Yeah.
melts, I
We
think.
don't have a lot of time before the snow falls.
Yeah, melts, yeah. Okay, so everyone's okay with that direction then?
yeah.
Okay.
Not gonna pick a way to do it now.
No. Okay, anything else, Taylor?
No, I did kind of summarize them into recommendations, but I know I don't have like a resolution for you guys to sign anyways, so I can kind of go over that if you want, but if you guys are satisfied with the updates, then, or sorry, Tim, I'm seeing you.
No.
You're good? Okay.
Resolutions for you.
Oh, we have resolutions, okay, well, we have the report, the resolution, okay, there are resolutions here. So,
Yeah. So I'll go over my
nothing more to add,
recommendation.
Then I will,
Or
we'll,
yeah, yep.
yeah, go through the
You go
resolution.
ahead. Perfect.
Okay.
Thanks, Suzanne.
So the first one is that we received the Public Works Superintendent, report for information. Who would like to move this? Counselor Hart, seconded by? Sorry. Seconded by Counselor Westhaver? Cartwright, sorry. She's talking, and so I'm looking at her. That's why I was confused. Okay, so resolution 2026-050, moved by Counselor Hart, seconded by Counselor Cartwright. Be it resolved that this council receives the Public Works Superintendent Report 26-032-402 for information. All in favor? Opposed and carried. Okay, and then the next one we have is for the NOHFC use of contingency funds for to cover the anticipated consulting costs. Yeah. Who would like to move this motion? Okay, Councilor Harper. Who would like to second?
I second.
Councilor Westhaver. Resolution 2026-061, moved by Councilor Harper, second by Councilor Westhaver. Be it resolved that this council authorize staff to retain a qualified consultant for design, tendering, and contract administration services for the NOHFC funded Nipigon Community Center upgrades, and that council approves the use of project contingency funds if required to address higher than anticipated consulting costs while maintaining project scope and compliance with the NOHFC funding requirements. All in favor? Opposed and carried. And then the next one is about the winter boat storage. So this is to direct staff as we discussed. Who would like to move this one? Counselor Hart, seconded by Counselor Westaver. So this is resolution, should be the right number.
There's-
2026-063, moved by Counselor Hart, seconded by Counselor Westaver. Be it resolved that this council directs staff to enforce the current user fee bylaw with respect to winter boat storage on a prospective,
Yeah, perspective.
Perspective?
Circle perspective.
okay, basis. And that this council directs staff to address existing unpaid winter boat storage fees as follows. To waive fees for the current winter season and to review the appropriateness of storage and docking fees. And that this council directs staff to strictly enforce the user, so I don't have the.
Yeah.
And that this council directs
On a
staff
go
to
forward basis.
strictly enforce the, okay, uninformed, go forward basis. Sorry, and that this council directs staff to strictly enforce the user fee bylaw for winter storage on a go forward basis. All in favor? Opposed and carried. Oh, sorry, and then this is the next one here is the request for quotations. So, this is to, approve or endorse staff proceeding with the, RFQs as presented. All in favor? Or sorry, who would like to move?
I move.
Counselor Westaver.
I'm still in favor.
You're still in favor too, good. Seconded? Counselor Cartwright, okay. So this is resolution 2026-062, moved by Counselor Westaver, second by Counselor Cartwright. Be it resolved that this council endorses staff proceeding with the issuance, evaluation, and award of the 2026 request for a quotation RFQs with awarded rates to be utilized throughout the 2026 calendar year in accordance with the township's purchasing and procurement policy. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. That was the blank one. All right, so at this point, we have come to the end of our council meeting that is public, but I would like to go around and see if there's any other business. And I will start with, actually, I will start with our student counselor, Counselor Barber.
I just wanted to say that there was a career fair at our school today. And from what I saw, there was lots of kids that were interested in the jobs, the summer jobs that were
For the town?
that were talked about for the town, and the M&R one especially. Like I saw like 5 or 6 people that I know like personally that were really interested about it, that aren't usually like reaching out for jobs unless they're reached out to. And those are just like the people that I know. So I think it was pretty beneficial for the summer jobs at the career fair.
That's awesome. Did you notice a lot of people at the township booth
I
looking
did,
for jobs?
yeah,
Good.
I walked by, I saw a few people there.
That's awesome.
Did they have both township, like Red Rock Township or Township or?
Yeah, I think it was all, I saw actually pictures, there was our fire department was there, the Nipigon and Red
Oh.
Rock.
And there was,
yeah.
all the police forces too. There was the Nipigon OPP, APS, and the Thunder Bay one. Was
Oh,
also
Thunder Bay
yeah.
too. So there, yeah, because it was open to all ages. So
Wow.
people.
The
looking for-
elementary school came from Terrace Bay.
Oh, really?
From Terrace
There was
Bay.
like
Wow.
6th graders. And I was like,
What kind of jobs are they gonna?
that's what I said. These
Yeah.
are kind of jobs that they could have-
Planning ahead.
Yeah.
Planning
We-
ahead, yeah.
Yeah,
Long term.
yeah.
Oh.
That's great.
Yeah.
Good. And it's good to know because we, at our conference, one of the conferences I've been to, I think it was the Thunder Bay District Municipal League. They were talking about youth unemployment and how youth unemployment is quite high in the larger centers. Like in Thunder Bay and Toronto and all those places, but in the smaller areas. So it would be, I'm not exactly sure of the numbers, but it was something like in the teens. So it was like 17-18% youth unemployment for summer jobs and things like that. And then in the smaller, like in Nipigon area, it would be more like 7%. So we do pretty well for our kids. They kind of have their picked up jobs, which is really nice. So,
And who knows, maybe it could go to like a future career path, which would lead them to stay in Nipigon,
yeah,
possibly.
that's really good.
Especially trades, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
trades. And with the, like, the natural resources, like, Ecuador.
Yeah.
They could, there's lots of like jobs in there with the town, they could be exposed to with those.
That's true.
Well, that's good, because I never heard anything about what happened there, so now we know.
Thank you for your report, Counselor Barber. Is that everything?
Yeah.
Yeah. Counselor Cartwright? Okay. Counselor Hart?
Nope.
Counselor Westhaver?
No.
Counselor
The ones I'm quiet.
CAO, do you have anything to add?
I do not.
Oh, and I know we got everything that Taylor had from us, and Brianna, do you have anything? No. Okay, I have a couple things. I just wanted to start by congratulating Jermaine and Brian Banning. They are retiring now, and they run the Edgeview restaurants. And so I think their last day is on Friday, and from what I saw posted, they're all full. They're all full up this
Yeah.
week with reservations and everything. So everyone going in to say goodbye. And so I just wanted to congratulate them. They're going into their 12th year of business, and they've worked really hard. Everybody knows that the restaurant business is not an easy business to get through. And they did it for 12 years, which is impressive. So just congratulations goes out to them, and happy retirement. Hope they
And I
enjoy
think
that.
prior to that, they ran the Red Rock Inn too.
Yeah. When we first moved here, I
Yeah.
remember she was at the Red Rock Inn, so.
Mm.
Our market is on Sunday, our end of the month market, so just reminding everybody of that and going out and supporting our market at the Nipigon Community Center. And I just wanted to, if we could have just a minute of silence to remember the young fellow who passed away last week. I know it's devastated our community, and I think it's appropriate if we just have a quick moment of silence here for him. I think we'll do 30 seconds if that's okay. Starting now. Okay. Thank you, everybody. And we will now pass a resolution to go into closed session. Who would like to move? Councillor Westhaver. Seconded by Councillor Cartwright. Resolution 2026-064, moved by Councillor Westhaver, seconded by Councillor Cartwright. Be it resolved that this council now resolve into closed session at 7:32 p.m. pursuant to section 239 of the Municipal Act 2001 to discuss a personal matter of the individual. Section 2392E of the Municipal Act 2001 to discuss litigation or potential litigation. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. Thank you, everybody.
I've been enjoying your pictures on Facebook there.
I just wanted to say though that the winter break, you didn't mention that Sumi and Krista did an amazing job with all of the,
Okay.
all the things they had for the kids to do.
Oh, that's
Really,
great.
really good.
I wasn't here, so
I know. And the other counselors were there.
Yeah.
It was really good.
We'll make sure to mention that at the next.
Should slide us a note next time.
Yeah.
I wasn't here either.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, just leave it on the table here, Sasha. Thank you.
That was really hard.
Do I have? I think we need a resolution to come out of close though. I don't think I have one. It's just this first one I have is council met in closed session pursuant to.
No, that's it. If you read
That's the one that
Yeah.
comes out of close? Okay, sorry about that. All right, who would like to move this resolution?
It's up there, the little-
It's up there. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, there it is. Okay. Moved by Councillor Harper, who would like to second?
I'll second it.
Oh, okay, Councillor Westhaver. Resolution 2026-065, moved by Councillor Harper, second by Councillor Westhaver. Here we go. Be it resolved that this meeting resolves into an open session at 8:19 p.m. Council met in closed session pursuant to section 239TB and section 239TE of the Municipal Act 2001 to discuss personal matters about identifiable individuals concerning nominations for the Ontario Senior of the Year Award and litigation or potential litigation, including the township's legal response to the Ontario Aboriginal Housing Support Services Corporation's application to the Ontario Supreme Court. Council provided direction to staff with respect to these matters. All in favor? Opposed and carried. Okay. And this is to resolve that the CAO is authorized to proceed as directed in the in-camera closed session. Would like to move this one. Councillor Hart, second. Councillor Cartwright. Resolution 2026-066, moved by Councillor Hart, second by Councillor Cartwright. Be it resolved that the Chief Administrative Officer is authorized to proceed as directed in the in-camera closed session. All in favor? Opposed? And carried.
With Gord, would it be good to have a picture?
Recording right now.
Yeah.
We're not mentioning the name because it's usually a surprise. Can you ask me after the meeting's over?
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, I thought.
That's okay. And then you have to hear the stop. Close the meeting.
Like so.
Well, it's still, yeah. Okay, so this is the bylaw that's to confirm the actions of the meetings held on today and prior. Who would like to move this resolution? Councillor Westhaver, would you like to second it, Councillor Harper? Resolution 2026-067, moved by Councillor Westhaver, second by Councillor Harper. Be it resolved that the council gives 3 readings and approves bylaw number 2023, being a bylaw to confirm the actions of the meetings held on and prior to March 24th, 2026. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. And this is to adjourn the meeting. Who would like to move this resolution? Councillor Cartwright, who would like to second? Councillor Harper? Okay. Resolution 2026-068, moved by Councillor Cartwright, seconded by Councillor Harper. Be it resolved that this council meeting adjourns at 8:21 p.m. to meet on April 14th, 2026 for the next regular meeting or at the call of the mayor. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. Thank you, everybody.